What's up, everybody? My name is Vince. Welcome to the channel. And in today's video, you're gonna get a special treat. You're gonna get an inside look at some new tools and offerings from Milwaukee Tool. And how are you gonna get that inside look? Well, we traveled all the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for their NPS event for 2019. So you didn't have to.
Milwaukee got into cordless nailing and stapling back in 2016 with our launch of our M18 fuel finish nailers. Now, since that launch, we've received a lot of feedback about those finish nailers. Certainly a lot about what we did well with them, but there were some areas that we absolutely needed to improve. Some areas that were pointed out by a number of our end users that they wanted to see improved performance. Now, as we took stock of that feedback, it was pretty evident that there was no quick fix, there was no small tweaks that we could make that really brought that product completely up to where everyone wanted it to be from a performance standpoint. That's why today we're incredibly excited to introduce you the M18 Fuel 18 gauge brad nailer Gen 2. This guy right here. Got a few cheers. This tool is completely redesigned from the ground up. When we say ground up, I mean every screw, every component, everything about this tool is redesigned with that feedback in mind. And what you're going to see with this tool is a couple of things. First and foremost, you'll see significantly improved performance from a consistency of nail driving. So that means in your whole range of common materials, from MDF and pines on the softer side, all the way up through your harder woods and everything in between. You see consistent nail driving and a ton of adjustability to deal with those different materials and lengths of nails. Secondly, you'll see clean, consistent nail holes. That means nail holes that are just barely larger than the head of the brad. That means less time going back and filling that hole and ultimately a better finished product. Now you also notice once I fire this and you get hands-on that it operates with zero ramp-up time. That's something that all of the cordless nailers and staplers at Milwaukee share. You'll see that with all the things that we walk through today. What that means is when you pull the trigger, you're getting a nail almost instantaneously. There's no ramp-up time, there's no delay between shots. Our goal is to provide you cordless tools that feel and operate like a pneumatic, and you'll see that with this tool. Second is a compact size. You'll see a huge reduction in size with this tool, especially if you're familiar with the Gen 1 18 gauge. You see a huge reduction in almost every critical dimension. That means it's going to be smaller, it's going to be easier to get into tight spaces, inside corners, you name it. And then one of the biggest things that will jump out to you when you get it in hand is the reduction in weight. We took out over a half a pound in weight. It's more ergonomic, it's more comfortable in hand, less fatiguing over a day's worth of use. A couple of specs before we fire the nail. You're going to fire 5/8 through 2 1/8 in length, so it's going to be your full range of common 18 gauge brads. You're going to fit 110 nails in this magazine. Something else you'll notice on here is we moved the depth adjustment to the back side of the tool. It was on the front side. Move it out of your line of sight to make it easier to accurately place your nails. So that's right here, very user-friendly. There's 3 tips shipping with this tool. Installed as your general purpose tip. On the magazine, stored right on the back side, you'll have a thinner tip for your precision point, more accuracy for smaller profiles, anything tongue and groove. And then you'll have a wing tip that will wrap around the receiver. What you'll notice is I'm gonna fire to a consistent depth in a harder material. And then I'm going to back it down a little bit very quickly and fire to a nice consistent depth in a soft material. So you can get closer if you're up front to see, but there's clean, consistent, small nail holes, just barely larger than the head of the brad. A little adjustment on the back side of this tool, I can move all the way down to our MDF here and get the same performance. Another thing to notice is that the recoil has been significantly reduced, so there's really not much feedback. We do have a dry fire lockout on this tool as well, so make sure you're not dry firing here.
How long will it run on one of those batteries right there?
It's not bad for that.
Question was how long will it run on one battery charge? You're going to get 1,500 nails per charge. 1,500 nails per charge on a 2 amp hour battery, which is what it will be kitted. It's actually an improvement from the first gen as well.
That's sweet.
All right. We're going to have a ton of time for hands-on here at the end. Feel free to use these boards as well as any of the built space here. Last thing on the 18 gauge, it's going to be shipping in August of this year. It's going to be shipping as a bare tool and a 1 battery kit with a CP20 battery. Any questions on the 18 gauge?
Sean, what would you do with somebody who bought the first gen and is having trouble with it still? Will Milwaukee replace that? What are your plans there?
It's a good question. We're not going to just straight out replace it right now, but it's something that we're kind of talking through. If they're having issues with the Gen 1, there's also certainly been improvements made to that Gen 1 tool throughout time. So depending on when they purchased it, there are going to be some improvements with even the newer Gen 1s, but we can absolutely touch base on it. How many people in this group have ever thought or asked or been asked, when is Milwaukee going to make a cordless framing nailer? Anybody in the group asked me before? I think so. Last year, right? Hey, we've been working on these tools for a long time, and one of our biggest focuses was to make sure that when we deliver cordless framers, we are giving the performance and the durability that end users expected, our customers really needed. So the wait's finally over today. We're excited to announce the M18 Fuel framing nailers. Not one, but two. We're gonna have a cordless 30 degree as well as a 21 degree framing nailer as well. So we'll talk through some of the differences there. First and foremost, first thing you'll notice with this tool is the performance. So we went out in the field, we started field testing these prototypes. One of the first things that continued to come up was the use of engineered lumber is becoming more and more commonplace. LVLs, LSLs, PSLs, you name it. And it's a big frustration, not just for cordless, but even some pneumatics. That was one of our primary focuses, was making sure we could deal with all of those dense engineered lumbers on site. So that's the first thing I'll demo for you today. In this tool, I've got full 3.5-inch nails by 131. You'll see we'll bury these into this double ply LVL. Pretty impressive, right?
Nice. Pretty much.
Now, power's only one piece of the equation when you talk about framing nailers. You need to be productive, you need to move quickly, right? And that was another thing we continue to hear, is that with cordless tools, I often have to change the way that I work. I have to slow down. I can't really move as quickly as I'd like to with these cordless framers. Well, both the Milwaukee cordless framing nailers will fire at over 3 nails per second. That's gonna really act to bridge that gap between some of the more supplementary options on the cordless side today and your full production pneumatic framers. I'll show this off right now, but I think a lot of you will probably want to get hands-on in a little bit as well. What do you think? Pretty good, pretty good. And the best part about this is all of this performance comes without the use of a gas cartridge. There's no consumable, that means no maintenance, no consistent downtime with that tool, and no cold weather performance issues. All you need is an M18 battery and nails, and you're ready to go.
What's the max length?
What's that? No oil. You don't need to do any oil or maintenance.
What was the max length of?
Max length is 3.5 inches on both of the tools.
Okay.
Minimum is 2 inches. On the 30 degree, it'll take 113 up to 131 clipped head or full offset round. On the 21 degree, it'll take up to 148 in shank diameter, knowing that some regions that larger nails being spec'd in more and more commonly.
How long will it run on a 3.5-inch nail coming out of it?
On a 5 amp hour battery, it'll run at about 700 nails per charge. It actually won't change no matter what length nail you have in there. It fires with the same power every time. You've got an adjustment for depth in the front of the tool. But it'll give you 700 nails in a 5.0, which is what it'll ship with. Now, the other really unique thing, and you guys can see it over on this side installed on the tool that Milwaukee's launching, is 2 accessories for full capacity magazines. So that's one of the first questions I continued to get was, hey, the power's great, the rate of fire is great, but I'm reloading my magazines all the time. Can you guys give us a full-length magazine similar to my pneumatic? That's exactly what we've done. So alongside both the framing nailers, we'll be launching these accessory extended capacity magazines for both the 30 and the 21 degree. It'll allow that user to put 2 strips of nails into this tool and really span that gap again between some of the more supplementary cordless to your full production pneumatics.
What's the cost on one of those?
On the tool or the magazine?
On the tool.
Tool's gonna be $349 as a bare tool, $449 as a 1 battery kit with a 5.0 battery, and the extended capacity magazine will be $69.
How easy is it to change the magazines?
Really easy to change. So we've got a tool on board, got a hex key on board here. You'll take 2 screws out of the top here in the frame and then 1 out of the magazine. Same way you'd clear a jam if you ever have a jam in the magazine. You throw on the longer mag and you're good to go.
What about jamming the head?
Jam the head?
Yeah.
So this entire piece comes off, so you'll have access to everything in the head of the nailer.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say bare tool weight yet?
No, I didn't say a bare tool weight. It's a good question. It's about 9.7 pounds, 9.6, 9.7. Bare tool, no battery, no nails in it. Now we'll have plenty of time to get back here. I'll hang out in the framing section, make sure we answer any other questions, get hands-on. There's no other questions right now. One thing I didn't cover is this will be shipping before the end of the year, so you see this in the fall.
What's the difference between the 21 and the 30 degree? What's it for?
Good question. So the difference between the 21 and the 30 is there's a huge amount of regionality and geographic differences with the styles of nails. We wanted to make sure that we had a solution for wherever you were in the country or in the globe. So the 21 degree is popular in certain parts of the US, for example, and the 30 is more popular in others. The last tool I have to introduce to you today is the M18 Fuel 18 gauge 1/4 inch narrow crown stapler. Bit of a mouthful. This is another tool that's been asked of us quite a bit. And part of the reason for that is there's a number of different applications that these staplers are used for. So whether you're looking at applications like aluminum, soffit, and fascia, whether you're talking about installing metal corner bead, or you're looking at some of your more traditional finish applications like underlayment, cabinet backing, whatnot, there's a lot of different applications for these tools. Because of that, one of our biggest focuses was making sure that you had all that high-end power for your harder materials like hardwoods, but very consistent staple driving depth, as well as a lot of adjustment for your different range of staples and the hardness of your materials you're stapling into. So that's one of the first things you'll notice with this tool is it's very, very consistent. Secondly, it's got no ramp up time. We covered this before, but you're going to really see once I fire this that there's no trade-off when you put down your hose tool and you pick up the cordless tool in terms of how fast you can work. And then last but not least, runtime is very important. We know that you don't use this tool every day, but when you do, it's oftentimes a really high volume of staples. So runtime's a key focus for this one. You're gonna get 1,200 staples per charge on a CP20 battery, which is a ton of work on one battery charge. I'll fire a couple of staples for you. You'll see that I can pretty much fire as fast as I can move. What do you think? It's pretty impressive. All right, so this one's a little bit farther out. This is a February launch. It'll be a bare tool and a kit as well. It'll be $279 for the bare tool and $399 for the one battery kitted version. Any questions on the narrow crown? All right. Oh, you have one?
I don't know. What's the maximum in the middle?
The staple lengths? So it'll go down to 3/8 and all the way up to 1.5 inches. So it's pretty much your full range of narrow crown staplers that are available.
Wow, that was amazing! And if you like new and amazing tool offerings, then smash the like button. Also, let us know, what do you think about what's going on here at MPS 19 down in the comment section below? Were all of your dreams and visions met? Or did they forget something? Let us know down in the comment section below. With that, I want to say I appreciate each and every single one of you being here. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you all on the next one. I gotta get back to my workout. Yeah! Woo! Video's over, but I know you want more. So this is how you're going to get it. First thing you need to do is pretend you're this guy. And you're here at the birthplace of freedom. Now ring that bell like it's 1776 and let all notifications through. What? You're not subscribed yet? Well, smash this button here. After that, watch this video here, here, and maybe over here. See you later.